Hey guys, what's up? I'm back with another video, and for today I'm going to be chatting and drawing, and that's all I'm going to be doing, mainly talking about film. So let's get into it. By the way, I have another angle, as you can see, and it'll be recording my journal as I'm filling it out, my sketchbook, and I totally forgot that this is a clear table and you'll be seeing my feet, so don't judge it. Anyways, let's get into it. The drawing that I'll be drawing is this drawing right here, and this is my little sketchbook. I'll go through it another day and show you my drawings, but as of right now, this is what I literally just finished this up today, and this is my blank space. I will not be finishing this drawing today, so that's for fucking sure. But let's get started. Also, I want to give credits to Drew Phillips. You guys know him. I remember he made a bunch of videos like this before too, where he would just be drawing and chatting, and I've watched them and they're so relaxing and cool, and I always wanted to do that because I got a lot on my brain. If you see the fucking mosquitoes around here, they're literally wanting to attack me. Might kill one on camera. Okay, anyways. Alright, it's already off center, so that's perfect. By the way, all of these drawings are not mine. These, I take them all from Pinterest. If I like something, I'm gonna draw it. I've been wanting to make this sketch journal for a really long time because I love drawing. I really do. I always doodle a lot, and off center again. And recently in college, I really just like to doodle when the professors are talking. You'll see that I'll be drawing something kind of in this little journal that I have, because that's where I keep all my notes and stuff. To talk about film and to what is going on, I'm a little bit in a crisis. I am freaking the fuck out. I'm gonna be a senior in college this year. That's literally fucking insane. I don't know how time just flew by and all of a sudden we're here, but this isn't my last year. I'm gonna be having 3 more semesters. It's this one, and then spring, and then fall is my last one. If everything goes according to plan, that's what I'm hoping for. And I just am really scared because I really don't know what I actually want for film. I'm not 100% sure. I've been saying that I want to be a cinematographer and I want to be doing editing and directing, but I literally have no fucking idea. And I am comparing myself. That's the main gist of it. There'll be someone who I see that I'm like, oh, you're so much more better at camera work, and because you have experience with it, and I don't know anything about cameras, and I feel like I've been doing nothing for the past few years. But what I was really focused on when I entered college was getting into the major, because I had to make a whole portfolio for that, and so that took a lot of my time, was to figuring out what short films I want to make and what stories I want to have, and what is my personal statement, and how to get into this, that was my main focus. And then finally entering the major, I was like, okay, how do I, there's so many mosquitoes, it's insane. But yeah, I was just really focused on just getting into the major, and then once I'm finally in it, everyone around me is asking me what do you want to do, what do you want to focus on, blah blah blah, and I'm just kind of shit, I don't even fucking know, because I was so focused on doing this, I don't even know anymore. And I feel like I kind of never really known. I mean, I just know that I love the craft of it and I want to be surrounded by it. And I mean, I've proven that to myself many times that I do love being on a set, and I love the schedule of it and the craft of it and coming up with the stories and making it the final touch of it. It's so incredible. I want to do that so badly, but I just don't know what my role is. And I always said in the beginning that I was I would love to just be a PA in a studio and just do that. But at the same time, it's okay, I can do that for so long, and then it's what else do you want? And so I'm just having trouble kind of figuring out what exactly I really do want in film, and so scary. Kind of crazy how for so long, some people in my age, I feel are always being I have no idea what I want to do in the future, I have no idea what I even want to study in college, and I knew, but yet I'm still kind of finding myself being I don't really fucking know what I want to do. And then there's this burning question of, how do you make it into the film industry? How do you survive in it? How are you able to have a living on your own while doing this job? I don't fucking know. And that's what scares me, is that how can I be able to survive in this society and work in a job that I really care about and desire? That's what I'm so questioning. That's what I really want to come to. But that's like my main question is, how do you survive in the film industry? How are you able to go from a project to a project to a project and be able to sustain and stay consistent and be able to just afford living? That's my question. How do you pay rent on time? How do you do groceries? How does that work? Because all I'm assuming from what I know from my knowledge right now is that you do a project that's like 3 to 4 months, and then once you're done, you get paid, and then afterwards you're next to look for the next job. But how does it keep going? You know, I know for actors, they are assigned to like an agency, and then some of them even do SAG, and so like they do have a bit of like revenue. Again, I'm speaking out of my ass. I don't even know what I'm saying, but they have a little bit of something coming in, and they can rely a little bit on like getting the next job. And so I'm just kind of curious on like how that works for crew, and like how can people do that and like live off of that, you know? His head is a little bit bigger than I thought. That is my main question, and I have talked to some people about it, and this was really scary. There's this friend I have who is a few years older than me. She's like 6 years older than me, and she has been working a little bit in projects and in production companies, and she has a lot of a sense of like how it works and how everything is, and she's had a lot of practice in film. And we were talking to this other friend of ours who has a relative in the film industry, and he is constantly looking for jobs and constantly trying to figure out what's the next project and everything like that. And he kept it real and raw for us. He was like, look, he's constantly looking for jobs and constantly saving money and financing and all that stuff, and I don't even know majority of those things, and it's a struggle, and that's how it's always been. And it's crazy to me, two things. Crazy that friend of ours has that optimism of like he still wants to be in the industry despite about what this person is telling him about it, and how like this relative is really stressed. Like he still wants to be in it despite it like not being so stable. And he's a fucking talented filmmaker, truly is. But the other thing was that like that just kind of made me more scared about the future of being like, how am I gonna float in this? How am I gonna survive in this? Because I don't know how I'm going to. How do people even do it? That's my thing. It's like I want to be shouting out to people and being like, how do you survive in this industry? I have no fucking idea how you do it. But it was crazy to us because as we were hearing all those things that he was telling us, we were talking about it on the way back on the car, and we were just kind of like just expressing our fears and our worries about how this is gonna work and how we're gonna be able to stay afloat. And she was like, that's just like the price you pay for this, you know? And it's crazy. I'm just like, what the fuck? And so I do wonder, like, do people have to have a second job in order to do this career, you know? I know actors do. Some of them do have a second job because they can't rely on their acting job. But for crew members, like, how does that work for them? Do they have a second job, or like are they in contact with people who are constantly doing projects, or like are they in a studio and they can rely that another like film is another film is coming, you know? How does that happen? Okay, my drawing's not that bad. It looks kind of cool. Dude, I don't even know how I did this. I kind of blinked. Okay, this is like I wrote these questions down, and so some of them are stupid, so please do not come for me. But one of them was like, how do you get paid? Like, do you get paid when you're finally done with the project and it's like, okay, here you go, thank you for working us, see you later? Because, you know, traditional jobs have like a weekly pay or a bi-weekly pay, and how does it work? You know, I don't think they get paid bi-weekly when they're working on a set, and so I just like wonder that. And then also even I've searched it before, but like how much does like a cinematographer or a editor or a producer, I know they're all very differently, but like how much do they get paid too? Let's see, what's we got here? Mouth. Now going for the teeth. Okay. Another question I have is like, how do you continue getting jobs? How does one who's already established in the industry and has a bit of connections, how do you make sure that you guarantee to have the next job Is it always like people reaching out and being like, hey, I have a project to work on, hey, this is going on, all this stuff, you know? Like, how do you make sure that like you got a job next month? I also wonder like how it works for like indie filmmakers, because I feel like it's more established and more steady and safe to be working on a studio, because for those people, they already know that they'll be working on something new and something's gonna happen. Like if someone is working in a Netflix production company or like Paramount or whatever it is, that they can guarantee that like something is coming up. I wonder how like indie filmmakers do it, because for them, I don't even know necessarily how that looks for like an indie filmmaker, if they're just kind of relying with friends to do projects and everything. And then also the whole idea that to be recognized or to even get a job in industry is like you have to constantly be making your own short films out of your own money and put them into festivals and hopefully something grabs. Like the movie Talk to Me, I remember those Australian filmmakers, they worked on that project for a really long time, and they put years into like not only that project but also into their YouTube channel, into really making like a platform for themselves. And I think by now, like, since they're kind of more established and recognized in that industry, now they can be able to do other movie projects and get out other opportunities. But even though like that movie come out last year or 2 years ago, but since that movie already came out, like how are they sustaining themselves? How are they surviving right now? How are they making money? That's like my biggest concern, because as I'm getting older and becoming an adult, all I just hear is money, 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 and it doesn't fucking stop. Like I start to think about things that I want, and I'm like, I would love to eventually move out, do my own damn thing, and go out and be an adult. But then it's like, how do I continue making money and like living good and whatever? Okay, I have to draw. I guess it's right here. But, dude, I'm surprised. I'm drawing really well right now. What the freak? It's not coming out that bad as I thought it would. What I want to mention is actually today I'm going to be going to my first ever film festival. I think that's what it is. It's the 48-hour film festival. I did this film with my friends a month ago, and it's finally the time that it's going to be screening, and I'm so fucking excited because it's actually going to be screening at my local movie theater that's like in my area, the movie theater that I grew up going since I was like 6 years old. Watched so many incredible movies in there. So like the fact that like a project that I worked on, a film that I worked on, is going to be on the same screen that I have gone to multiple times in my life is actually insane. So I really wonder like how that's going to feel. But to think about like your own movie that you work on the big screen is actually insane. That's crazy. Oh, I didn't do this part right. So I'm very, very excited for it. I have to dress nice, so gotta figure that out later. Okay. The thing is, as I'm saying all of this stuff and ranting and stressing myself, maybe you'll realize, but you can kind of tell that I have a lot of doubt in myself. And I shouldn't be admitting that. And I shouldn't even be putting that online. But I do, because okay, if we're gonna get real for a second, I have always felt like I've never really been the smartest. Like I'm never the smartest one in the room. I lack a lot of like skills, and I don't do great in school. I do all right. Like I do get good grades, but do I learn anything? I don't. And so like I already have a lot of doubts in my life, and I always tell myself that the one thing I'm never going to doubt myself is that this is the career choice that I want to do, and it still is, and I still want to do it. But it's just now, as time's getting closer, I'm like thinking about how I'm going to have to break in and everything, and then I'm more even scared about like how I'm going to live like that. How do I live in this industry that is so unstable, and how can I make a living and live my own and everything? How do I make sure that the next job is guaranteed, which I know it's not, but how can I, convince myself that it is? And so, from what I've gathered in the past couple of days about this stress and worry, is that I have to convince myself that I don't have any doubt, that I am capable of this, that I'm good enough for this, that I can do this, And I really want to, because I want to prove it for myself. So that's what I'm gonna be doing, is that this next year for college, just going all at it, doing everything I can to learn as much as possible and to work as much as possible in practice. Practice is the best fucking thing. If there's anything that I've learned, the more that you're on a set, the more that you make your own projects and stuff like that, you gain so much more experience and so much more knowledge about that. This film project that I just did with my friends, I was the one who's going to be editing, but also I have like a co-editor with me, and he is so good. He knew so much about Final Cut Pro, and I've been on that software too for so long. So is it a software or a program? I'm so sorry. See, this is what I mean. He knew so much about it, and so I was like just like taking so much information for what he was telling me and learning and everything. And he's younger than me, but still, it doesn't really matter. He's like a year younger than me, but he knows so much, and I'm just kind of like, I just need to soak everything up I can from so many people. But I hope that with these videos that I'm making and the things that I do and the things that I say, I really hope when time comes, 10 years down the road, I look back and being like, you fucking did it. You fucking did that. And you shouldn't have doubted yourself in the fucking second. Wait. You shouldn't have doubted yourself? So yeah, I'm very nervous for the future and for this job, but I want to do it. I want to do it more than anything. Okay, these nipples look a little bit weird. How do I make this a little bit better? Okay, I'm gonna take a quick pause and draw this out, and then meet you back later when it looks cooler. All right, I'm back. I pretty much finished the drawing. I still have to draw like the night sky, but that's gonna take way too long, and I am getting bit the fuck out by these mosquitoes, so I'm gonna be done. I guess I just want to talk about kind of like my aspirations and like goals and what I want to do in the future with film. I would love to eventually make my own movie, of course, but I mainly do just want to work on really cool projects. I want to collaborate on really cool projects and work on things that I'm also passionate about. And I would also love to make music videos too. If I can do that, that would be really dope. What else? Yeah, I'm not really sure. I also would love to like live in LA, just because it's like more closer and local, and I also like the lifestyle and everything like that. But if I don't have to live in LA, that might be even better. But yeah, thank you for joining my little rant and watching this video of me drawing of this lovely picture that I will fill out later. Yeah. That's basically it. Damn, I'm so terrible at outros. I don't know how to end this. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye. That wasn't a kiss. I was like, that's so fucking stupid. Anyways, see ya.